This is the time for Empty Courtesies. I'm here with Stephen Brust to discuss his book 500 Years After in a read-along commentary format. This is chapter the 9th, which treats of our old friend Eric, certain messages he received, and the resolution he therefore undertook.
Yeah, I'm kind of a little embarrassed how many times I am just discovering on this read-through I refer to our old friend. But I think I'm going to officially decide I did that on purpose. And then it won't be embarrassing.
We are in a sequel. I think it's appropriate. So, it's kind of like how I just decided that I don't need the production quality to be amazing on these videos. And also I'm just going to not mind listening to my own voice at all.
Excellent.
Sometimes we just decide things and go with it.
Yeah.
So when I was reading this chapter, at the beginning you talk about, don't talk about the messenger a little bit. And it made me think slightly of current events where, we're all sitting around in isolation, depending on people delivering things and stocking shelves and being there, and sort of these previously invisible but extremely important people in our lives.
That is a better thought than the one I had, which is I completely forgot that I had done that in this book and did it again in Magister Valley, except that one is like a 350-word sentence.
Oh, is that the extra long one that you were taunting people with?
Yes. It's basically the same point being made.
All right, so
which is, but on the other hand, it's perfectly reasonable for Parfy to get to want to emphasize certain things. So yeah, you can go with it.
It's a bit of a Parfy hobby horse. Just means that the Parfy book following Magister Valley, you're going to have to stretch that out to like 450 words.
It was fun coming up with the history on this one too.
Yeah,
because I had pieces of the arrangement in the relative thing because they appear in Tekla.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had parts of it, but going back and filling in the history to how it got there and so on, and plus all the things Parfy chooses to leave out and things like that was a lot of fun.
I haven't read Tekla since just before we met when I did a reread of that whole series. I should probably read that again because I don't remember anything about Tekla.
The part of this chapter that was actually the hardest, that stopped me, and where I had to, one of the few places in writing Parfy I had to slow down, was the details that Erich gives his steward, and instructions for things while I'm gone, because it needed to be there. We needed to see, Erich at home and leaving and the sorts of things that he is concerned with.
Well, it's a really important contrast to certain other ruling people. You guys figure out what to do about this important thing so that I can go run the empire by opening some doors. Versus Eric is just like, okay, this dispute, the rents, the fish pond, etc.
Yep. So it's interesting to remember how that, piecing that together and going and looking stuff up and like that. It was fun.
That's interesting that bit was difficult because it seems like it just like sort of snaps out. So.
Oh, what else happens in this chapter? Pretty much nothing. They get up and they go.
We we see our lackeys again. We see Tazendra for the first time this book.
Yeah,
We also see that he instantly understands what's going on, or enough of
right.
what's going on between the two letters that he's like, no, I'm not going to stay here and send back a letter full of advice. It is time to get on some
Dust off
horses.
fan braces.
Yeah.
The
And yeah.
I had to one of the decisions I had to make in putting this one together was how much to play off of 20 Years After, which I don't know if you've ever read 20 Years After,
Mm-mm.
but in it, basically until the end, the four of them are not reunited. I think there's maybe one scene where they sort of meet, but they're on opposite sides. It's, I believe, Athos and Porthos against Aramis and D'Artagnan, maybe. I'm not even, guess I got to reread it. But, you know, they're taking different sides of a struggle.
Okay.
And I had to decide if I wanted to do that or if I was just going to say, no, I want our buddies to be together. And kind of that's what I decided. I was like, I don't care. I want, you know, I love the interaction of the four of them, so I'm going to bloody do that.
Yeah. Well, and I appreciate that you did that, because it would be sad to see them fighting against each other.
Wow. Did you have anything else on this chapter?
I don't think so. It's a good chapter, but you know, it's
Say.
there's a lot of the Parfy history, and then they're getting ready to go. So,
Yeah.
you know, things may become heated soon in the book.
Yes. One hopes that the plot will thicken, as they say.
As they say.
Okay.
All right. We'll talk again later.
All right. Sounds good.